Hello, sir.
Hello, madam. So now, dear participant, already the resource person is here. So we will start our session so that we can finish on the time our session. So, dear participant, once again, good afternoon. And today, this last session of the today, we are going to start with Dr. Irene Lalruatkimi. Dr. Irene is a associate professor in Department of Mass Communication, Mizoram University, and she also headed 2 terms of the her department, Mass Communication, just finished her headship last week. So, very one of the very energetic, associated with many media channels and newspaper agency of the Mizoram, and very active professional in the media communication. So today, madam is going to talk about one emerging issue, that is fake news. Okay, being a mass communication professor, madam have a lot of observations, practical experience, because nowadays all we are facing a lot of the problem on the social media. Many fake news is coming, and sometimes it is very difficult to make the differentiate what is the news and what is the fake news actually. So today, madam is going to talk and discuss about the fake news. So, madam, on the behalf of the HRDC Mizoram University, I welcome you in this 6th FIP program for your lecture, and now handing over the session to you for your presentation, madam.
Thank you so much, Professor Manoj. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, as Professor has introduced me, my name is Dr. Irene Lalruatkimi, Associate Professor in the Department of Mass Communication. Today, I will be talking about media ethics, the law and ethics of media, and then we will talk about how to verify fake news, how we can know fake news, what website to trust, and how to go on. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, yes, I think my screen is visible now. Yes, right. Sir Manoj, my screen is visible, right?
Yeah, madam. We will make it presentation mode, madam.
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, today we are the people who are witnessing a global village. We are now living in a village. We are having a big village known as a global village, because from here we can talk to the people who are staying in US or in the northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere. And even today, we are from people from different places, and we are here together online and having a class together. So this is a good example of how we are living in a global village now. And the information system has been changing a lot. Let me take you how the information system have changed in India. As we all know, our first India newspaper started way back in 1780 on January 29. And then right after the newspaper, we started having a radio's program, which started on May 16, 1924. And in Mizoram out here, we started having our radio in the 70s. And then after the radio, we started having a television again. This television began in India on 15 September on 1959. So long ago, before we all were born. And in Mizoram, we have witnessed the existence of television only in the year 1980, when India was about to host Asian Games. At that time, television came to Mizoram, and in the beginning, only 2 television sets were there. So it was way back in 1959, and out here in Mizoram, we started, as I've mentioned, only in 1918. Then after the television, we started having loads of newspaper. Today, when we look at, we have lots of newspaper, and we have the choice to choose what type of newspaper we want to read, what type of newspaper we want to subscribe. There are loads and lots of newspapers. And then we started having television channels. We started having lots of satellite channels and even the news channels also. We can choose. We have the right to choose which one is the channel. Way back in those days, we have only India and Bangladesh. We can watch only India and Bangladesh channels on TV. But today it is very different. And then again, in this digital world, in this global village, we started having what we call digital media. We are no more into television news again. We are not very much into newspaper again. We started having this internet, what we call internet, and we all have a smartphone. So we are free to choose what type of news we want. And then in the same way, we are bombarded with lots and lots of informations, lots and lots of news. So today we are living in a social media world. Just imagine ourselves right from the time we get up till the time we sleep. We are in a virtual world. Even now also, we are not in the classroom anymore. We are in our own place, and then we are very much to choose. We have lots of things to choose in this social media. And what I want to tell first is that social media let it be any kind of media, media has power. Media has power. For example, when you look at the newspaper, during our India's independence fight, the freedom fighters, they use newspaper a lot, they use print materials a lot to educate people, to tell the information to people. And then it was very powerful. And then after the TV came into being, and everyone was stuck to glue to the TV. So whatever we see on the TV, whatever comes in the form of media, it looks so real. And then we started having cinema theater, cinema hall. I think you can all remember and relate yourself. When we look at cinema, when we look at the movie, we tend to believe whatever we see on the screen. For example, when we watch the movie, Sylvester Stallone, Rambo, killing thousands and thousands of soldiers with his one gun, okay? But we find it so interested, and we find it very real. And then we can remember that in the theater, people we started whistling, people we started clapping their hands and all those things. Because when it comes to the media, things look so real. This is the power of a media. Amitabh Bachchan or Mithun or Shah Rukh Khan beating up 10 to 20 men at one time. It looks so real, which cannot happen in real life at all. But media makes it so real. And then after all these things, we started having mobile phone today. And then whatever we see on the screen, when it comes on the screen, it looks so real, right? Photos, let it be photos, anything. So when we look at the screen, this is called the screen power. This is called media power. Okay, so we will talk about this in the later slide. Then let's come to the media ethics. When we say media, we always remember three things. That is information, education, and entertainment. Yes, media has three things to do, which is called information, education, and entertainment. But we usually don't highlight the fourth one, which is the most important one, that is business. Media is business. Any form of media is business. It is someone's business. So a business person will think what his audience, what his target audience will like. So apart from information, education, entertainment, since it is business, media ethics has to come in between. So now we come again, what we call media is a gatekeeper. In olden days, we keep on talking that media is a gatekeeper, media is the one who should not be biased and all those things. Yes, of course. In olden days, during the time of newspaper, during those television days when we have only prime time news, media was a gatekeeper. But today, we are overloaded with information, and today we have witnessed what is called citizen journalism. So every one of us who hold our mobile phones wants to become a journalist. We have witnessed, all of us. And there is no rules and regulation that only matriculate or only people who have the master's degree or bachelor's degree should have a mobile phone. There is no such rules and regulations. So now every one of us, let him be without education at all, let him be class 2 pass or class 3 pass. Every one of us is holding a mobile phone now, and every one of us wants to be a journalist. For example, if someone suddenly died outside, someone will just come and click photo of that without censoring anything, and will just post it in the WhatsApp group, and someone will again copy paste, and it goes on like that. So censorship, all these things got lost because of this citizen journalism, because of the digital media today. So what are the challenges we are facing now? So we are facing or fighting fake news as a big challenge, number one, in this digital world. Fighting fake news becomes a big challenge. And then fact-checking, news literacy, and transparency initiative needed to stem the tide of misinformation and low trust. And then changing regulatory framework, particularly from online content. These are the challenges which have been facing in this global village digital world. Even as an academicians, we started facing problems in this digital world. We keep on talking about plagiarism, and then we don't know what website to trust for our research and so on. And then updating with the latest trend. We need to update with the latest trend as well. Okay, when we talk about media ethics, it is about truth and accuracy, independence, fairness and impartiality, humanity and accountability. This we all know, and even journalists also, they know it very well, but these are the things which are very, very difficult to follow in today's world. So as a citizen, I am responsible in equipping myself with the latest information, understanding and having a friendly working relation with the media. So I just cannot say that I am a teacher, so I don't have to use this mobile, or I don't want to use this. We cannot say that. So we have to equip ourselves with the latest information. And of course, we need to have a friendly working relation with the media. Media is something we cannot just go against it, we cannot just fight against it. So instead, we need to have a friendly working relation with the media. In mass communication theory, we have a theorist called Marshall McLuhan. He was talking about that the medium itself is the message. Yes, today medium is the message very much. See, even now Mizoram University, since it is an A grade, not accredited, we organize this type of program. The HRTCs organize this type of program in this kind of media, where you people don't have to come here, take the trouble of traveling and all these things. But in today's digital world, they use this medium. So the message is very clear that Mizoram is well equipped, and then they can organize this type of program. So our media become the message itself in today's world. That is why we cannot go against the medium. We just have to try to be friendly and have a good working relationship with the media. Okay, let's come to social media. Social media itself is not a problem. Okay, social media itself is not a problem. Like it has lots of advantages, and it has lots of development for us also. But the problem is online versus reality. In the process of using social media, we, the audience, started losing our reality. So the more time we spend on social media can lead to cyberbullying. We have experiencing all these things, social anxiety, depressions, and exposure to content that is not age appropriate. Lots of research on this, how the youth are being harmed by it and the effect of social media, disadvantages, and all those stuff. We will be very familiar with it. And social media is addicting. Like all other media is very addictive medium. So like all other medium, social media is also addictive. And there is a fear of missing out. We don't want to miss out, so we have to be there in the social media. And then self-image issues. When we click with our camera, these days our mobile phone, our smartphone camera is very good, and then once we click photo, we look so beautiful, and then we look sometimes very young, and then we look so thin, and all those things are there. So we started, all the self-image issues are there, especially this type of self-image issues are very much, especially with the young people. Okay, we will talk about that. And another important thing of social media is it becomes an instrument of social and cultural change. Unknowingly, without our knowledge, without our wish, without our choice, social media is changing our society and our culture. Slowly and slowly, we are being exposed to many cultures through social media, and we started practicing, we started taking in without knowing it. For example, let me give you an example of Mizoram out here, our place, our culture. Even the type of food we eat today has changed a lot. If you come to Mizoram, you will see lots of Korean restaurants. So we started eating this Korean food. We started acting like Korean, the style, the youth, the way they dress, the way they put their makeup, the way they put their hairstyles. So the culture, our sense of dressing also changed slowly. And the way our society functions have been changing day by day. So it becomes an instrument of social and culture change without our knowledge. Now we will come to misinformation and disinformation. This is the first thing in fake news. How is fake news being formed? Number one is misinformation. Misinformation is information that is false, but a person who is disseminating it believes that it is true. So sometimes our thought, our thinking, our preconception is wrong. Okay. So while I was taking this class with my students, with the new batch, I asked them, how do they see me? Whether they see me as a married person or a single person, or how much is my age? I asked them, okay. So they say that I am a single lady, and then I might be around in my 30s. So I thought that you people are misinformed with your preconception, with your thought. I am married, and then I am only 16 years old, I told them. And then even though we know that something is wrong, we still want to copy and paste that one that is called disinformation. So this information is information that is false, and the person who disseminating it knows it is false. It is deliberate and intentional lie. These are the true things which create fake news. Okay, so misinformation is not very common, whereas disinformation is very common in today's world. We know someone knows that it is false, but still want to disseminate it. Especially in the political field, this is very much relevant, and we will see in the coming slide. So now we will learn how to verify online verification and how to verify this fake news and how we will fact check. So when we used to say that anything under the sun, ask Google. Yes, everything is under the Google. We used to Google it. So now again, this Google is becoming like, Google is also becoming very tense now because of lots of fake news. So under Google, there is one thing which is called Google News Initiative. So Google News Initiative is taking this initiative to train all the journalists and all the academics and to disseminate to every people about this fake news verification. Okay, so now let's see how to verify photo. How do we verify that this photo is fake or a real one? It is by using reverse image search. So when we open the Google, type reverse image search. So through this Google reverse image search, we can know whether it is fake or not. If the picture is in the Google already, we can search it in that way. So in that search, you can type Google reverse image search. So we can tell if an image is old, if it's appeared earlier on the web. We can tell in what context an image was used. If it is not, we still have to work on the zero ground. Okay, let's see. For example, out here we have Mahatma Gandhi and Dalai Lama in the photo. So they show us that Dalai Lama and Mahatma Gandhi were together. So we are so confused now. How can this be together? Dalai Lama is still so young and he's standing with Mahatma Gandhi. So now we want to fact check. We want to know whether this is true or not. So in the Google reverse image search, we search Gandhi and Dalai Lama. And then it comes out in Google. Whenever we search anything in Google, hundreds and hundreds of answers will come, right? So now when we just put Gandhi and Dalai Lama, or either we can copy paste the picture on that screen, okay? So it was nothing to do with Gandhi and Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama was writing an article about Gandhi. I met Gandhi in my dream. So they just put a young Buddhist guy with Gandhi in the photo, which makes us so confused. Now, this is a Prime Minister of India. He's shaking hands with the terrorist who is behind 26/11 attempt. So it makes things so confused. Why is our Prime Minister shaking hands with this guy, a terrorist guy? When we Google reverse image search, it was nothing to do with this terrorist guy. He was shaking hands with the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So the Photoshop, people knows how to play it so well just to create problems, just to create issues. So it was nothing like that when we fact check it. Now, I've already told you in politics, all this type of fake news happen. See, they will tell about Nehru. Nehru is a kind of man who likes girls so much, he will have a troupe of dancers when he goes and visit around the world and all those things. So we see Nehru and the girls here. So we try to fact check it. So either we paste the image or Jawaharlal Nehru with girls. So the real picture comes. It was nothing to do with Nehru. They just copy paste and put that. So the original pictures comes out. Okay. So likewise, Photoshop can be very powerful. See, one photo, several claims where we see Modi, Putin, and here the North Korean guy surrounded by world leaders. So we, under Google reverse image search, we fact check it again. And this is the original photo in the G20 summit in Hamburg, Germany in 2017, where the chair is empty. They Photoshop it and put anyone in the chair. We can even put ourselves in the chair. Okay, so this is how it comes. The original picture comes out. Then another important thing is crop the picture. If the picture is very confusing, or if the picture is having many people there, if we want to search, we can crop the picture. For example, like this Sonia Gandhi. Sonia Gandhi is she's sitting on some president lap like that. So we crop the picture of Sonia Gandhi, and then now we will Google reverse image search, and then the original picture came out. She was not sitting on his lap at all. See, they know how to Photoshop so well. So this is the picture, how they Photoshop. And another thing is about Gandhi. Like Nehru, even Gandhi likes girls so much, so he always play with girls and this and that. So instead of Gandhi and this girl putting together, we crop the picture of Gandhi and then we tried to Google reverse image search. It was nothing to do with the girl. He was with Nehru only. Okay. So another is that adding time filter is helpful, because if we don't add the time filter, lots and lots of answers keep on coming. So to know if we can know the exact timing, adding time filter is very helpful. For example, see, a Muslim guy is pulling a Hindu lady and lots of issues come up, especially in small villages, Muslim and Hindu started fighting. So now, see, people are just looking, watching and laughing. No one is helping. What happened? We try to Google reverse image search. Is it fake or not? Now, we can add the time filter in the Google reverse image search. Okay, there, when we put time is there, so we can add the time filter. So this was the time before 5th July 2017. This the post came viral during those times. So before 5th July 2017, we will put in the time frame. And then it was something to do with movie, nothing to do with the real world. So it was for a Bhojpuri movie which was released in 2014. Nothing in real life, okay? So they just took it from a clip and then put it like that and then went viral and then lots of issues used to come. Now, another thing is that observing the picture carefully is very important. As I've mentioned before, media has a power. When it comes in media, it tends to be so real. Especially on our mobile phone screen, whatever we see on our mobile phone screen, it becomes so real, okay? So this is a lawmaker from Kerala. He was putting up a Pakistani flag in his car. So there we can see MLA, it is written. And why he is putting a Pakistani flag in India, also in Kerala? So now when we zoom and put forward it was nothing to do with Pakistani flag. It was an Indian Union Muslim League flag. Okay. So it looks like the Pakistani flag, but the way the moon, another moon is this side facing, another moon is the other side facing. So before, like it was creating, when people were not looking carefully, when they just put the image out like this, people were like, why are they doing like this? What's happening? Is he have a close contact with the Pakistan and all those things, all those issues come up. So after fact checking, this was the answer. Then another thing is that we have Google Translate extension that can save our time. Google can translate languages for us. Recently, even Mizo was also put in Google, so we can translate anything to Mizo also. It was very nice. In Mizo language, it can translate also. So if we don't understand the language, we can translate it into the language we are comfortable and see it. There was a time when many of us received the picture of this girl that she got pregnant. Just 11 or 12 years old girl being pregnant. So people were so confused. How can just a little girl got pregnant? So now we put it, and then it was the child from Brazil, and then she was suffering from swollen liver. Then all the things written were something to do with Brazilian, and we don't know how to read the language. So we asked Google to translate it for us in English, and it was seen that after fact checking, it was seen that the child was from Brazilian and it was suffering from swollen liver. And then we have seen like this man, they just put it up on the social media that it was a Muslim festival, and then this guy was telling that I am playing with my daughter with the cows, cow blood and all these things we are playing. So there was a big issue now. Why he has to mock the other religion? Why he has to play with it? Okay. So now we try to verify that, and we put it in the Google reverse image search. But all this type of language came. He's not from India, he's a resident of Cairo in Egypt. So it comes all in Egyptian language, which we can't read. So now we ask Google to translate it. Okay, we asked Google to translate it, and then Google translated. It was not something to do with cow's blood or anything. It was something very different. It was not in India at all. So this is how the Google language translate can help us in verifying the fake news. Okay. Then another one is video. How do we verify the video? Before we verify the video, we need to have an app called InvitEU Chrome download. InvitEU Chrome download, like we have Google reverse image search. So we will have InvitEU Chrome download, and then we will take a screen grab, and then again we will use reverse image search as well. So it is a combination of reverse image search, and then we can even use smart keywords. And we also need, again, strong observational skills, and good old-fashioned journalism is never missed out in all these things. What is good old-fashioned journalism? Good old-fashioned journalism is always talking people, interacting people face to face, or speaking to them. Okay, that is still good old-fashioned journalism. So this video cannot be played. I will be telling you all. This is supposed to be a public service announcement by one NGO. Children were playing on the roadside. It was taken from a camera, from a security camera. So children were playing on the roadside, and two guys who were covering their mouth, who were covering their face, came on a motorcycle, on a motorbike. And then they pick up one girl who was playing on the roadside, and they took her away. So to that only it was cut, and it was disseminating it. So people are so scared now. Child trafficking is going on, and then which city is this one? People were so scared. They don't allow their children to go outside and play also. But when we fact check it, when we put in that InvitEU Chrome, when we put it with Google reverse image search, the video, the whole video came. Okay. So these two guy with the motorbike, they came back again with the girl, put the girl, and put up a poster. Parents, please be careful when your children are playing outside. This can happen to anyone. Okay. So that was the message they want to show. Okay, this. But before showing the message, they cut it, and it goes on viral and was creating an issue. Then I think many of us has witnessed this. We were so scared that rice was made of plastic. Yeah, when we think back, way back around 7 or 8, 9 years back, at once upon a time, we were so scared that like we will eat rice made of plastics. So it looks like rice is made out of plastic, and they put it like that, and then we were a bit scared. But it was nothing to do with rice. Okay, it was to do with plastic, recycling of the plastics, and then it comes in a small bit like a rice pieces, and so this went viral. Even in Mizoram also, we were so scared. We were so scared to buy plastic rice, because we say it's a global village, and all these things comes very first through the social media. So when we are fact checking a video, watching frame by frame help us. Okay, even this plastic recycling also, if we don't watch it frame by frame, it looks like rice only. But when we watch it frame by frame, we can know that it was nothing to do with rice. Okay. Then at one point of time, all mothers were scared of buying plastic eggs and plastic cabbages. So even in news, they started announcing there is the vegetables are made of plastics, and the eggs are made of plastics. And they're showing all these clippings also. And we even get in WhatsApp also. See the cabbage, these are plastic cabbage and it can't be cooked. And many mothers were so scared of buying cabbage. Even if they go to the market also, they will keep nicely like this, whether the cabbage is made of plastic or it's a real one. So all this fake video comes out, it comes viral, and we were so scared. So when we fact check it, it was nothing to do. In Japan, they called it shokuhin, or a food sample. In the restaurant, if they put the real food, the menu for a showcase, it will just get spoiled within one day. So instead of that, they make something in plastic so that they can use it as a showcase. So it was something to do in Japan, and then it comes viral, and then we were so scared. Okay, this is how to verify. This is how it makes us know that these are not real one. These are just a fake video. These are just a fake news. So these are the tips for video verification. Then another thing is that how can we trust the sources, the uploaders? How can we analyze? People are uploading, people are keeping it up. So how do we trust? How do we know that these sources, these uploaders are real or fake? So how to identify a fake or parody accounts and website? So one important thing is that is the content consistent with the previous post in the location, the quality? We have to check that. And we have to check whether the uploader have other online accounts, because we have lots of social media accounts, for example, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. So other online account is also available or not. Does the uploader refer to being present? Are the content and description consistent with other reports? So when we evaluate the uploaders, we have to see that that is called social audit. So now we have to audit the uploaders. Is he or she a real one? If he or she is a real one, as I've mentioned, all the images in his all social media account will be same. Name might be changed a bit, because sometimes it's very difficult to get our own name because someone have already taken. So name might change a bit, no problem, but the image and all these things will not change. And one important thing is that we need to see the friendlies and the family content. Everything is there in the social media. So all these things is called social audit. We can audit who is the uploader. Is he, she a fact one? Okay, using this social audit. So name and variations, usernames and variations, reverse search profile pics, header images, prominent graphics, logos, combined searches, that is name with location, school, workplace from post, check friends, family, connections, be creative and stubborn. So we need to be a bit detective when we do the social auditing. We have to act like a detective, seeing carefully each and every social media account by checking it. And then when we see Twitter also, we can know when the account was set up, because the date and timing, everything is there. Where its earliest tweet, what are they doing from, the state, location, who do they follow, who follows them. So we can know from the comments. I will say that in the later slide. This is very important. Who are our friends? Who are our friends who are following us and who we are following them? So there is a link to, if there is a link to other social media profiles, is it the same person? The profile's photos original or stolen from somewhere? Because there are many profile pictures which are not real. They will just put someone else's photo, very fake one. So we can know that by evaluating and looking at those small things carefully. Okay, so as I've already mentioned, screen has a power. When we see on the screen, we just tend to believe it is real. So just look at this screen now also. For example, Limes of India. There is no Limes of India, just Times of India, ANI, Whereas A and I logo, everything will be in capital letter. Here they use a small letter. Times how, there is no times how, it is times now. But when we don't look carefully, when we just look at the screen like that, we tend to believe it. So this is how the parody and all this fake website and fake images, fake video used to come out. So that is why we need to be very careful. So as I've mentioned, the history of comments is very important. If we suspect that someone is fake, if we suspect that this news is fake, after social auditing, let's see the history of comments. Who are commenting on it and how is the comment? Okay. For example, I am Irene and then I am working here in Mizoram University. If you see my social media account, most of my friends will be from my workplace. And then the type of things which I will be posting will also be something related to me. Okay, I will not be posting about football or I don't know, something like that, which I'm not into it and which I'm not interested. So even the history of comments, in the comments, I will have friends who are original one, who are giving their comment in a very truthful and correct way. If it is a fake one, like the comments will also be very fake and then will not have much friends also. So this is how, suppose if I am fake and if I just claim that I am from Mizoram University, just look at the friends and the history of comments. Nothing much comes out from the place where he or she works. So this is why it is very important to watch out the history of comments in anything. And another important thing is that this social media, which are so fake, wants to have a very sensitive headlines. This happened in all types of media. When we started having newspaper, and then when newspaper was becoming increasing more and more developing, when there was so much newspaper, many newspaper try to catch the attention of the audience by making their news in a very sensitive way. So they used to make it very sensitive. Then again, when television comes to being, like lots of programs started coming, and then we started having programs which are very sensitive, which are not even good to see as a family also. So likewise, even in social media, trying to catch the attentions of all these audiences, these fake people will started having sensitive things, sensitive news, sensitive headlines to catch the audiences. And I did include in this slide. Today, our problem is also with YouTubers. Now we started getting diverted from the television to YouTube because we cannot watch the television news on prime time. We all are so busy, we cannot watch it on prime time. So we started watching on YouTube and like that. And we started having lots of YouTubers who are not even journalists, who doesn't have background at all. Forget about having background or a degree in journalism. People who don't even pass their matriculate, they started having a YouTube network, YouTube channel, where they will talk anything which they found and anything which they think about it. Okay, so this make things becomes very problem. This happened all over the world, not only in Mizoram or not only in India, all over the world. And social media is something which is very difficult, and we can't say this this person can use media very good, or this person, the way he used or she used social media is very bad. We can't say that. See, just imagine, even the US president, this US president, the last one, not Obama, how can I forget his name? They even kick him out of the Donald Trump. Sorry, Donald Trump was even kicked out from Facebook many times because he don't know how to use it properly. So how can they expect us and even the others to know how to use social media well? So this is how the social media works in this world today. There is no regulatory framework yet. There is no rules and regulations, or there is nothing like that yet. Okay, so that is why we have to be very careful. And we have to be very careful, and we have to know how to verify this fake news, and we have to know how to identify whether it is fake or whether it is not. Okay. So how to verify location and time? When we use Google, we should know that there is a Google Map, Google Earth, Bing Maps, Wikipedia, all these things are there. These are the things which will help us in locating the time and verifying the location. So whenever we look at some picture or a video, what we have to look for is street layout. Many a times, especially in Northeast, they used to mistake us. If something happened in Manipur, they used to think it happens in Mizoram, and they will say that this happened in Mizoram. If something happened in Assam, they will say that it's happened in Nagaland, because people are not very sure of us in Northeast. So what is important is that we need to see the street layout, okay, how the street is there, because the street layout of Assam is plain, is very difficult, they're very different from Mizoram again. So looking out for all these things, the street layout is very important. And another thing is statues and monuments. In Mizoram, we don't have statues and monuments much. We have one Mahatma Gandhi statue and one Vanapah statue in Aizawl. That only we have among the statues. So whereas in Guwahati, in Assam, as soon as we reached the airport, we started seeing a lot of statues and monuments also. So likewise, all these things in the picture we have to look for. And then the architectural details, the way we build our houses, the way we make our designs is different from the state to state and from country to country. And another important thing is street signs and front shops, because these small shops and these street signs and all will tell us the place. Okay, so we can zoom in and see, okay, this is this place. So all these street signs will help us. And another very important one is the license plate of a motor number. Every state, every country, we have a separate motor license plate. So if there is any vehicle in the picture or in the video, we can know from that which country, which state this is happening. Okay, so that no one can cheat on us, and we can know, we can fact check by just looking and by observing carefully to all these street layouts, statues and monuments, architectural details, street signs and license plate. Then we have to watch the video the whole true way. So like only tiny fleeting details would give you the information you need. So this can happen, okay? So watching out the video, if we think that the video is wrong, whether the video is edited or whether the video is something is wrong, only the tiny fleeting details can give us, so we need to watch it carefully and watch for camera panting, tilting, zooming or changing focus quickly. Sometimes pausing can give you glimpses of crucial details, okay? Try searches like Dharmapuri monuments or Manipur charges. You may get a Wikipedia entry or enthusiastic blog with images. So we can do all these things if we want to know, verify the place and the location. Okay, then if it is a video, we have to able to pick up the place names. Sometimes they will talk out the place name also, if we can listen it carefully, and the accent and the dialects. Every state, every tribe, we have a different dialects. We have an accent also. The way we Mizo are pronouncing English, our accent is different from the others. Likewise, accent, dialects, place name, if we listen it carefully, we can know it. Okay, so this is how we can verify the video as well. Then another one is verification of time. How do we verify the time? So when we look at all the media platforms, timing is always displayed. When is it uploaded? What time is it uploaded? We can always see that. So many times, long time back stories which was updated way back in 2007 or 2010 they will bring it out again today as if it just happened yesterday in 2003. So if we Google reverse image search, Invit EU Chrome, if we put that, and then it will come when these things were uploaded, it will tell us the time and the date. In this way, we can know, we can fact check it, okay? And what I want to talk about at the last thing is the digital hygiene. Digital hygiene is very important because we are living in an age of digital. As I've mentioned, digital technology is taking over us. So we can't live without our mobile. We can't live without our computer set, our laptop set. We are in the digital media world and digital hygiene is very important. So how is it important? We need a unique password for each account. Number one. We have Gmail, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, everything. So password for different accounts is very important. And we need to have a strong password for each and every account. We need to keep a password manager and two-step verification. We should always go for two-step verification. Today, even banking, even shopping, marketing, we done at the tips of our hand, everything. We don't have to go to the showroom. We don't have to go to other cities or to buy and do shopping. But we should always trust two-step verification, okay? So, I don't know whether we people are still using this type of password, like 1, 2, 3, 4, ABC, password and all those stuff. These are the passwords which we used to have in the beginning. So these are called bad passwords. We should avoid using all these things. If any one of you are still using this type of password, please, you have to change it. So let me tell you how to make a good password. So as I've mentioned, bad password are like using our birthday, using our pet name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, QWERTY, ABCD, all these are bad password. So what is a good password? A good password should contain uppercase, it should be long, it should not be short, it should contain uppercase and lowercase, numbers and symbols. So how do we make it? Very difficult now. I have 2 dogs, 1 cat and 3 birds. I have 2 daughters, 1 husband and 1 dog. Also we can say it, or our anniversary is on, what is today? Our anniversary is on 17th February 2023 or something like that, we can use it, okay? Are we going to use the long thing? No. So how we will do is, see. I have 2 dogs, 1 cat and 3 birds. So we will take the initial of all these. IH, 2D, 1C and 3B. So this is very easy now. IH, 2D, 1C and 3D. So when I type it, for me, I can say I have 2 dogs, 2 cats and 3D. I can do it. So it's very difficult to hack now. Likewise, we can make password a strong one for each and different account of us. So the most common mistake we use is that we use the same password again. After creating a strong password, we started using the same password for all the account again. So it becomes very easy for a hacker, for anyone to use it. Okay, so that's why it is very important to use different password for each and different account. So after becoming a teacher, or after we might think that we are old and we can't remember. Yeah, many times we used to forget our password. So again, in this global village, living in a global village, living in a technology world, again, going to the old, using the old school and using a notebook is promoted by the Google initiative to write our password and all these things. So we cannot keep away this old school style. So we can still maintain a diary, we can still have this so that we are not lost. So as I've mentioned, two-step verification, password, and security key is very important. If it is not two-step verification, if all these things are not there, especially when we have to use from our bank account, let's not trust it. And another important thing is that when we use a mobile phone, we don't call it a mobile phone these days. How do we call it? Smartphone. So many people, they don't know that they should be smart because they're using smartphone. So that's why this fake news is coming out. Okay, so smartphone is very important. When we use smartphone, we have to be smart enough to use smartphone. So whatever apps we installed in our smartphone, we have to update it. If it is not updated, it's very easy to hack. If we are not using that app, we can just uninstall. When we want to use it, we can install it again, no problem. So whatever software we have, it has to be the latest version updating. Okay, so we have to update it to the latest version and update it every time. Otherwise, let's uninstall it. When we need it, we can always install it back again. This is one of the safe way to be. And locking our mobile phones is very important. Why? Because today, everything, all the data of me is in my mobile phone. Why? Especially as a faculty, as a teacher also, we open our we have our Gmail, we have our WhatsApp, we have all our Drive, where we keep all our research papers, where we keep all our personal informations, and let's say even photos also. The photos which we don't want others to see. Everything is in our mobile phones now. So that's why locking our mobile phones is very important, and we cannot afford to lose our mobile phone also. This is very important. So that's why we are holding a smartphone. We should be smart enough. So we should lock our mobile phone carefully as well. So we should always lock our mobile phone. If we are using a hand fingerprint and all these things, we should use a different design, or where people cannot just open it, because we might leave our mobile anywhere, we can forget it, so that people cannot open. This is very important. Then suppose if we lost our mobile phone, in my Google account, finding a device is very important, and then everything we can connect our mobile with the Google, right? So suppose if I forget my mobile phone today in my office, and then I go home, and then I came to know that I forgot my mobile phone in my office, and someone might come at night and then might come and take the phone. So I'm so scared. So what I do is that I should always put my mobile sound loud. Many a time we put it on vibrate when we are having class or when we are in the meeting. But as soon as that, we should keep it back to the from the vibrate mode to the sound mode. Because if it is there is no sound, suppose if I don't know where I lost it, where I drop it, so I need the sound. So that's why this is very important. And another thing is that locking my device. So as we have already mentioned, if we have a password for each different account, we can lock our device. And then if someone is opening also, if someone might know how to open my phone, he or she might not able to open my WhatsApp or my email. Okay, so locking the device is very important again. And then what things we can do is that if we are linked with my Google, I can, when I go back from my desktop, from my laptop, I can erase all the data of my mobile. So if anyone is taking also, let it be no problem. I already erased, I can say that. Okay, so this is very important. And then we all want to have a free Wi-Fi. Every one of us, we used to shout for free Wi-Fi. So, but free Wi-Fi is not good, okay? Even in Mizoram University here also, we have a free Wi-Fi. I never connect my mobile phone with the free Wi-Fi. I connect my desktop only with the free Wi-Fi, because when we are connected with the free Wi-Fi, it's very easy to hack for a hacker also, and it's very easy because even now also, if we don't know much of the technology, let me explain in a simple form. See, we are here now in my university, we are to open Wi-Fi. Okay, we are having an open network which is open, and from the computer center, everything is managed. There are many sites which they don't want us to open, so in the open network they close that. So whatever we are doing in browsing, they can come and trace us. And there are many websites, or there are many things which they don't want us to open, so they block that on their own. All these things can happen because it's open network. So that's why secure network, having our own network and clicking to that is always very safe. Okay. Another important thing is that when we open a website, HTTPS, S is for secure. So we should always use only website which is having S. Okay. But many a times, even when S is there, it is not secured. But as far as possible, if S is there, it is believed to be secured. But even though when S is there, there are many phishing sites. See, for example, even if we want to go into Google, email also, all these things, .com, login, redirect, all these things will come redirecting us to something else. And when we open this shopping website and shopping mail and all these things also, sometimes they redirect us. So when it comes to this redirect.com and all, don't trust, okay? So without our knowledge, we just type it and then all these things come up on the screen. So we have to look it carefully. When we can directly go to Google Mail, login, redirect, all these things will come. So no need to use all those websites. We can easily go to the main website, that is Gmail. Then see, so there are many spotting scam and tricks, and these days lots of people are losing their money, their bank account is being hacked. Sometimes they will call over the phone. All those things, we are the witness of it. Many people are losing that, and there are many articles to read about it also. So we have to watch it carefully. So for example, look at this one, Bank First. When we see on the screen again and again, the screen power, the media power, it looks so real. So what is the difference here? Even us, we might not know here the difference. Bank First, Bank First. I will show you the difference in the next slide. See, in the first slide, it is Bank First, FIRST.com, which is the correct one, the correct website for bankfirst.com. Then the second one is Bank F1RST. Okay. So if we go on doing our account with the second one, with this wrong one, we might have problem. So that's why it is very important to look carefully to the website. There is no S, not to trust. Here also S is there, but still this is wrong. So we have to be very careful with that. Especially, I've mentioned again, shopping. I think many of you are also women out there, we like to do shopping. So we have to be very careful when we do shopping. If people started asking us lots of questions, questions like mother's name, this name, that name, we should not trust. So two ways verifications, all those steps, we have to take it very carefully when we are about to use our account from that. So even the software, all this type of software used to give us warning. So we have to trust all this type of warning. We should not download this type of things. When the warning comes, we should try to avoid it. So apart from all these things, there are social networks. Check your privacy chatting. Be careful while registering on unfamiliar site. Lock your screen or device. Lock out of public or shared computers. It's very, very, very important to lock out. Now also I am using in my room, in my personal room here in the university. But even then, locking out is very important because, as I've mentioned, I am using a open network. So that's why locking out and closing it, our own account is very important. Okay. So use secure networks, especially while doing online transaction. So we should not use the open Wi-Fi, especially while using transaction when it comes to money matters. This is the way we will be safe. So we have to think of our safety first. We have to we really need to be safe in this digital world. We have to follow all those which I have mentioned, and then we have to keep our eyes and our ears open every time for our safety. Okay, another thing is that we have to know that you or me cannot control the media. As I've mentioned, it is business. Another thing will come again. See, so many things have come. They will say about WhatsApp, Telegram, TikTok. They will ban TikTok. Then another thing will come again, Reels and all those things. I don't know what things will come again in this 2023. Another things might come up again. So we cannot control the media because these are business and they try to catch the attention of the audience, and the audience taste according to the audience taste. Okay, and then according to the generation taste also they will come up with, because they're working on that, because they're professional in that. So it is not you or me who can control the media. And then likewise, I cannot control this, my other citizen as well. I cannot control even my own family. I cannot control even my own student also, because I am not God or I'm not something. So like we should not be, we should not have that as a burden. So they have seen that many people are having that as a burden when they cannot control the media, or when they cannot control their own families, or when they cannot control their own friends or students. So we cannot control that. Okay. And then as a teacher also, we cannot control our students. We cannot do that. Now you started giving them assignments, and then many copy paste will come, because they all have a smartphone. They all have a Wi-Fi at their home, and then they have a computer set, and they can copy paste anything. So it is not us to control. Okay, so we should not take it as a headache, or we should not take it as a burden. So if anyone is doing anything wrong, the police will catch it. Okay. And today, unfortunately, there is no hard, fast rule and regulations. If someone is doing like this, we should catch. If someone is doing like this, he has to give this type of money. Nothing hard rules is there. Online regulation framework rules is there. Because suppose if they show one picture and I find it very funny, that picture, for someone might not find it very funny and want to caseify. No, I don't find it funny, I want to caseify, someone might say. For me, when I find it so funny as a joke, for others it cannot be funny, so he might file a case. So the case cannot be same also. The case cannot be same, and the case cannot be differ. They used to ask me in many questions in media, if this happened like this, what is the case? What in which IPC this have to be taken in? If we go to the police, is it like this? We cannot say that, because it depends on the person. Some people might want to go to the police, some people might want to go to the court. So it depends on that. Okay, so it is very difficult in terms of these rules and regulations. Okay, so any questions from anyone? That's all my presentation. Thank you.